What's going on, guys? Bit late with this Swoop, Luke, but better late than never. Let's play the intro. I feel like it's going to be a scrappy contest with the Swans bringing in a lot of pressure, a lot of forward line pressure, kind of like St Kilda did last week. I think we're going to dominate the first half. We're going to have so much more of a buffer going into half time. I feel like we're going to win by at least 23 points. So as you could tell, this game went nothing like I predicted. You know, it wasn't the big first half that we were supposed to have, not supposed to have, but I predicted the Sydney Swans, they went with us for most of the game. And actually, we kind of had to go with them for most of the game as well. So a depleted Magpies team took on the Swans, who welcomed back two of their biggest gladiators, Buddy Franklin and Josh Kennedy. So in the lead up to this game, there's been a lot of talk about how we're the highest scoring team in the first quarter over the last whatever number of years it was. And then, as fate would have it, Sydney kept us to one goal in the first quarter. Not for lack of us trying to get goals, we just couldn't kick straight. We finished the first half with 5 goals 10, which was it's just pathetic for a professional football team to kick 10 behinds in 2 quarters of football. In saying that though, Sydney's backline did put on the pressure when it counted, and they stood up magnificently. It seemed that Sydney took on St Kilda's style of play from last week, just lots of pressure, and tried to get us with the counter-attack, which seemed to work. We only went into half-time with a 9-point lead, much thanks to our 10 points. But that was working for them. Lots of pressure around the ball, and they were breaking away and running in the damp conditions that we were playing in on Friday. The rain and the wetness did make for a good spectacle though. It was neck and neck for pretty much all of the game, except for the last quarter where we just kicked a bunch of unanswered goals and we came out on top, like we did against Carlton and like we did against St Kilda. Sam Reid was actually one of the best on ground for both teams, kicked 6 goals straight. He played pretty much on Howe for most of the game. Howe, although a good player, he does struggle a little bit with one-on-ones, so that's why in the last quarter they chucked Roughhead onto him, but it was all over by then. Like I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, the good teams just find a way to win. We do it, Geelong do it, West Coast do it, and you know, you don't want to play blistering football in May as opposed to August and September. You don't want to eat all your cookies before dinner, or however the saying goes, but we'll take a scrappy win any day of the week. Jordan Roughhead, this guy has been going under the radar all season long, just so nonchalant about it. He kept Buddy to only 2 goals and his lowest disposal count since 2009. So thank you, doggies, for such a bargain pick. I think we got him in the late 70s. And he's just providing what we lacked last year. What we brought Dunn in for, which unfortunately those 2 ACLs. And now more being down, Jordan Roughhead's got more of that responsibility. And he's just standing up tall. Levi Greenwood, probably one of the best games that I've seen him play in the black and white. 21 disposals, 11 of them contested. He provided a lot of run and carry off that halfback flank, which was something that we lacked throughout the game, mainly due to the conditions. And he took such a great mark, and he's just showing that he's more than a tagger. He does have a role in the team now. So this one's a bit hit and miss, like and a dislike. Daniel Wells liked his first half. Of course, who couldn't? 3 goals in the first half. Came back from nearly a whole year out of football. Showed us what we brought him in for, that X factor. He has such a good goal presence and such a good foot in mind. But unfortunately, now we just found out that he's out for 3 months with that knee injury, going down at the start of the 3rd quarter. Opted not to have knee surgery, so hopefully we'll see him back before the end of the season. So Adam Treloar, 38 possessions. They look great on paper. They look great when they're just, chain handballs. But of his 17 kicks out of those 38 possessions, he only hit the target less than 20% of the time. And that disposal efficiency isn't very good for an elite midfielder. And also, of that 38 disposals, he went at 58%. So for like 22 of the 38 disposals, they either went nowhere or it got turned over. All he has to do is just find that target 30 out of the 38 times, and he becomes an even more elite player. So just a quick dislike and a little bit of a video. You'll see that, let me just say it off the bat, I rated Pendles in this game. But there's this one passage of play right here where it's just very un-Pendles-like. Gives the handball off to Troy, as you could just see, and doesn't put his arms up for a shepherd. And then when the Swans take the ball out, he gives a half-hearted one-arm tackle. They go to the other side, Buddy gets the ball, kicks a goal, and then they're up by 3 points at about the 7-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. I coach the under-15s, and I just tell my boys, just put your arms up, provide a shepherd, help your teammate out, especially for a close sort of handball like that, in close proximity to the other players. you've got to protect your teammates in that situation. He might have been spent, who knows, but I'm sure that won't happen again. So for my 3 votes, 1 vote, roughhead, how he played on Buddy, kept him to 2 goals, like I just said, lowest disposal rate in 10 years for Buddy Franklin, going under the radar, so that's why he gets 1 vote. 2 votes, Grundy, of course, 64 hitouts, 16 to advantage, out-muscled Sinclair around the grounds, he got himself 18 disposals. Sinclair couldn't go with him, but did provide enough grunt for Grundy to have to work a little bit harder. And 3 votes, Pendles, our captain, had a tagger for most of the game, still got 29 disposals, still had over half a dozen inside 50s, provided a couple score assists, kicked that awesome goal in the first quarter, and he just keeps getting better this season. So for my final thoughts, Callum Brown, he's just been phenomenal these last couple of weeks. Really cemented his spot in the best 22. That running goal in the 4th quarter was my highlight of the match. The ability to take the game on in such a high-stakes situation just proves that he's got the mentality there, he's got the right head on his shoulders. All in all, it was a scrappy game, but we'll take this win any day of the week. So sorry, apologise for the late video. Don't know how many people are watching this at the moment, but like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pets. This is a shout out to my biggest fans, mum and dad. If you're watching, love ya. I'll come over for dinner tomorrow night. Swoop you later.